as a caddy, and you're an amateur golfer learning how to teach, and you
Right.
caddy, so you caddy at a high level, so you've learned a lot about the game,
Right.
like a professional. So what was your biggest thing you learned, versus being an amateur golfer and when you play, then walking with a professional and having to chart the course, or how he preps for an event? What would you say was your biggest
The first
takeaway?
thing that I really learned was how you say things is very important.
Mm,
There was a hole in El Salvador, the first tournament I caddied him in, and it was hole 17. To this day, the hardest par four I've ever seen. You have a 100-yard canyon to the
do we have
right.
it on the Unicore here?
I don't think it's called El Encanto,
Okay.
but I put in my yardage book, whatever you do, don't miss right, with like 9 exclamation
Oh, you can't
points.
put no.
And he was like, hey, man, maybe just a little more positive, like favor the left side.
No one ever told you that whatever it tells you to do.
That's just how I talked to myself when I played, was
Amateur
don't
golfer.
throw it into the canyon where you'd have to walk 100 feet down to the right.
Yeah, don't tell your
But
players.
that's where I would mostly hit it, because that's the only thing I'm thinking
Exactly.
of. I would hit it in the canyon.
There's another mental game too for
Exactly.
the
But
audience
just
there.
the way you say things and just being positive and keeping your guy engaged. Obviously, that seems simple, but when it's like in El Salvador, we were in the hunt for it was a 3-day tournament. We were in the hunt all 3 days.
And this was It's and Live. It was a professional day.
That was a Mexico mini tour event. It was
Well, isn't it world ranking points?
It is, yeah. You get world rankings for it. So it's
a
not a bad
legitimate
tour,
professional tour. Yeah.
So you get in the heat of things, you
What? Yeah.
have to think how you say it.
Yeah. So what about when you would get to a new site for Live? Like what would you do as the caddy to make sure your player was ready for that course?
Well, you kind of handle your own business. Obviously, you're with him. You're seeing how he's hitting it. You're making sure the yardages are the same as they were last week. You're seeing if there's the elevation, the altitude, stuff like that.
Would you walk the course
every single day? Yes, sir.
So like
then,
you get out there early?
Yes.
Okay.
I like walking the course. We'd get there, say 2 or 3 days before. So you walk the course all those days. Then at night, they send you an email where all the hole locations are going to be.
So they give them to you the night before?
The night before. So
that's really nice, because they could
get on the bus at 6 a.m. and then you walk, you see what slopes you can use to access that pin. And obviously, like on the yardage book, they'll tell you, but obviously some slopes won't have one actually rip a ball back. And the last thing you want is to tell your guy, use that slope, and next he has a 15-footer straight down the hill with 3 feet of break.
Yeah. So, so you knew like his preferences on?
It took some time, obviously, because I'd only caddied for him one time, but you really start learning your guy's tendencies and what he's comfortable doing under pressure. And
so what would he rather have, so say he's laying up, what was his yardage he liked?
100 on the dot's a great number for him.
A lot of people, mine's 90.
Yeah. But also he's kind of a guy too, and I understand people like this. I kind of like setting up a stot number. He's more of I'm going to get it as close as I can, and he has good short game. So I don't totally understand. Everybody's different.
Well, that's what the indoor golf's helped me the most with, is like those 30, 40, 50 yards, because I'm just as good now as I am from, 80 to 100.
Exactly, because it's almost a stock feel now.
Now it is, because you can't use depth perception, so you take away a sense, one of your senses, and you got, your feel enhances your feel, and then you can use your eyes outside.
Exactly.
But that's interesting, though, because a lot of pros don't even like to lay up.
No, exactly. But sometimes you got to convince them too, because there's no other way around it.